Shalom. All right, let me get straight into this lesson. Let me get into this video. But it's going into this religious indoctrination. This is real deep. And it started when you was a child that you was given so-called white Jesus. You was given all these lies and these things that you was taught in Christianity, whether it be by your parents, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Whoever that was there in your life raising you, right? And most of our people, when they so-called seek to find God as they know, they run to the Christian church because they've been indoctrinated to do this, right? It started when you was a little child. So that's why you have to set yourself free from this and be reborn, right? Check this out. Let me read this. It says, indoctrination. It says the process of teaching a person or a group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically, right? So that's what you see. You see this kind of presentation in the so-called Christian church, and they consider this to be laying hands. But this is all just an indoctrination, right? So, you know, when people say they talking in tongues, and when they were so-called talking in tongues, they were speaking in a coherent language. It wasn't this gibberish. And to go to show you how stupid our people is, man, to believe in these things. Let me go back, start this over.
Now, depending upon your denomination of Christianity, you are going to either think that this is correct and proper, or you're going to think that this is ridiculous. And that's one of the points that I want to
And that's the point of Babylon the Great. When you go into the word Babylon, it means confusion. You got so much confusion here. You got you jakes into every kind of manner of belief, philosophies, way of thinking, way of living, and you all confused, right? If you're not waking up or in the truth, you all over the place. So that's why this place Babylon, it breeds confusion.
talk about. But the first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that when people often come on my page, they're saying that, hey, I know I'm Christian because of my faith. I'm Christian because of my belief. My experience of God is what has made my belief in God. That is my proof of God. And what these people don't realize and what they're not considering is that.
So, Lucky, let me interject real quick. You know, this word Christian is it's new speech. Like, you know, the Bible and Christianity in a modern sense of it has no relation. The Bible is a book, right? A collection of books about the Hebrew Israelites. That's it. It's like if I had a book about the Vikings, I couldn't walk into a store and pick the book up about the Vikings and make it apply to me. That's insane. But what the Christian church has did, the Christianity, starting at the Roman Catholic, they've universalized the Bible. They make it mean they make it apply to anybody that so-called believe in JC, right? That's insane. It's a Bible about the Hebrew Israelites, the beginning, the present, and the future. It's history. It's a vast amount of things in the Bible, but this is our book. It's a personalized book. Holy Bible. Who is the holy people? The Israelites, right? So they did something called supersessionism or replacement theology. When you look this word up, they say the church replaced the Israelites. Check this out.
Had it not been for the fact that the overwhelming majority, now there are some who were not going to church all the time, and I know I'm going to get those comments as well, and then you started going later, but you have friends, you were surrounded by churches, all that sort of thing. But for those who grew up in the church, as these young ladies and these young men are growing up in the church, they watched their parents do this exact same thing. They sat in the pews and they've seen when somebody came up and they accepted Jesus as their Lord and Savior. And then all the other parents come up and they're praying, and then they start screaming and they start speaking in tongues. You can hear a couple of the young ladies.
Okay, he's about to say so-called tongues because you know that's false, right? But you tell our monkey-minded people this and they don't understand it, right? They're dumb dogs, right? So continue this.
But you can also see them looking around like, okay, am I doing it right? In the very beginning, there's one little girl. She's like, "Am I doing it right?" Oh, she's just sitting there. And then later on,
You hear that? The girl says she doing it right. And it's to go to show you that talking in tongues gimmick shit is all nothing but a gimmick. It's not true. And you could tell most of our people that it's not true. And you can have the person actually that's so-called talking in tongues to tell them that it's not true, and he's still gonna believe it.
because the stitch is not long enough, she's all of a sudden red-faced and crying. But the top
Red
right,
face, eat them.
top left of the screen, the young lady, you can see she's that, but she's looking around to make sure that she's doing it right. And that's what they do. That's what children do. Children mimic what they see. They adopt whatever lessons that they have been picking up from their parents or their surroundings, and they adopt those things, and they continue to adopt those things.
Right, as he said. So those Edomites that you saw in the video, that were kids, they are now adults. So this your average Edomite at your job that hate Jake, right? And confess, they got to have that white so-called image of so-called white Jesus, right? So-called, right? And that pushes and furthers the white so-called supremacy, right? And then when you disagree with that and say that's incorrect in those lies, now you're considered an enemy of that so-called white person, right? And Jake don't understand it. That's how stupid Jake is. He'll be like, "That's my best friend." Let that issue come up. The Edomite gonna show their true colors, but they are red people. They not so-called white, right? So let me get into this lesson. But this, what I want to go with this is this indoctrination. Ever since you was a little kid, you've been indoctrinated mostly, predominantly in Christianity, and then you got Jacob wake up from some degree, right? They understand Christianity is a lie, so they go run to some other genre of philosophy of some other so-called religion to escape Christianity because they know that it's a false religion, right? But they can't make the separation from the Bible being a true book about the Hebrew Israelites that was hijacked by the so-called white man to push his new form of so-called white superiority Christianity using that image of so-called white Jesus. Jake don't got enough sense to comprehend that much. John 8 and 32. And ye should know the truth, right? The truth is going to liberate you. The truth is everything. You think about anything in life, when you know the truth of something, you have that comfort, that confidence, right? And the truth shall make you free. So that's why we continuously do these lessons, because we know we got the truth. We wouldn't be so fervent for this if we didn't feel like this was the truth. We know this is the truth. We're trying to make our people to understand. So most of our people been indoctrinated ever since they was a little kid, and they grew up and became adults, and they have doubled down in these lies. They have actually got stubborn with these lies, and they don't want to change. Besides the elect, it says indoctrination. Check it out. At the very top tells you what to think. This is another very important part about this. I want you to listen up to. It tells you what to believe and how to defend that belief from people who might threaten it. That's heavy, because you try to bring the truth to our people, but they want to deflect, they want to reject, and they sometimes they'll get so angry, right? That they're totally bug out on you, right? So I'm gonna read this again. It's very important to understand this, because our people have been indoctrinated to Christianity and they defend it to their death. They actually defend these lies. It says indoctrination tells you what to think. It tells you what to believe and how to defend that belief from people who might threaten it. So when you see how people shun off what we say, they don't want to hear the truth. They can be, they ain't got to be all even rude with it. Jay could, do it in a nice way, right? But they're still going back into this indoctrination, because that what we telling them, trying to break them out of the matrix, is making their mind uncomfortable, and the mind wants to get back comfortable. The mind wants to go to a safe spot. That's for psychology 101. Let's go here. But our people actually trust in oppression. So that means if they get oppressed, it got to be an oppressor. So they prefer the oppressor religion will be the so-called white man that gave them plantation Christianity. Isaiah 30 and 12. So most of our people don't want to be set free. They want to stay they comfortable where they at. It says, "Wherefore thus said the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word." So our people don't want to be free. They don't want to be free from the matrix. They want to stay in the matrix and trust in oppression. They actually trust in this system. So when you say you trust in the system, like you do it in different ways. Like our people might go cast a vote. That means they trust in this system. They actually believe in this fake democracy, right? When they go do things and participate in this society and they put their heart and soul and their emotions attached to the society, that mean they actually trust in oppression, right? That mean they trust in the so-called white man and perverseness and stay there on. So our people are not trying to change. They're comfortable. But it's because this religious indoctrination. Let's go here. Salakia. I want to go to and that's why they hold fast to these philosophies and religions right here. It says if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. So that's why our people are lost sheep, right? That's why Yahweh shall reference our people to being lost sheep, because a sheep has to be led. It needs to have a shepherd for survival. Once they wander off, they good is dead, because the sheep is docile, dumb, and defenseless, right? It says it means if you don't have any idea of what you stand for, your own values, or how to make a decision for yourself, then you would be more easily to be led and possibly misled by others or by nefarious influences. So our people are led by the so-called white man Christianity. That's why they believe in all this mumbo jumbo dealing with the so-called Christian church, right? That's their refuge. That's what they run to. They run it back into their oppressor, right? And they don't stand for anything because Jake do everything. They do Christmas. They just moving without any purpose, right? It's all vain and aimlessly wandering around this place like a lost sheep, right? And you can actually see this stuff in your mind. Jake is wandering. They're wandering from different religions. So Jake might come out of one trap. Like he might wake up that he's an Israelite, but he's still holding fast to hell, the hell doctrine. So you got a lot of Jakes. I'm gonna do a lesson about this. They Christian Israelites. So they're Israelites by nationality, but they're still entwined and entangled into a lot of these Christianity doctrines, right? Like the false hell doctrine. There'll be a main, one of the main ones that says wonder. So Jake is spiritually wandering through America. It says moving from place to place, roaming, roving, straying. So Jake has went astray. That's why you see women with blonde wigs on, right? Purple wigs, right? They drinking all this abominable drinks, Sprite. I'm just looking at this commercial right here. They eating all this processed food, fast food, McDonald's, Wendy's. They don't know how to properly eat correct, and it leads to them getting diabetes. It leads to them getting high blood pressure. It leads to death, stroke. You know what I'm saying? Because they haven't been educated on how to properly live and what to properly eat. And it goes on and on. It's in every aspect of their life. They don't know how to, a man and a Jake woman is always at odds and always fighting among, like the woman is fighting against the man. They just, and they don't know that, it's crazy, man. It's a lot to cover, you know. But let me see if I can hit one more thing. And Jake is just lost in the sauce, you know what I'm saying? Lost in the sauce. It says due to intoxication. So our people been intoxicated with this Babylon wine in the spiritual sense. Like the so-called white man gave them away a life and they have copied it to the T, right? And they think this is the way they supposed to live. They don't know no other way to live, right? They don't know not paying bills. They don't know not building up their credit score, right? They don't know not, what's, like we didn't have, like this shit that we have today is new concepts, right? It says aimlessness, Slakia, aimlessness, right? So that's what Jake Madra is. He's aimlessly wandering around America spiritually, you know what I'm saying? But I'm running out of time. Hopefully this lesson was edifying. Call Allah Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rachat, Kodash. Shalom.